History. 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 History is written by the victors. Hell for Lycra 10 is now only 2 days away, and it's going to be a historic night. History is full of heroes and villains, winners and losers, men of great honour, and traitors. Those of you that know your history will know that at Hell for Lycra 6, myself and my former tag team partner Braveheart won the SWE Tag Team Championship from Sterling Oil. We were able to do that because on that night we had Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man came out in our corner. He evened up the odds and he cancelled out Sterling Oil's outside interference. We won the championship that night and we held it for 1 whole year until Hell for Lycra 7, where we were finally defeated by Tenacious Sin. It was the events that unfolded after that match that had everyone talking. I did the unthinkable. In a moment that will go down in history, I became a traitor myself, and I superkicked Braveheart right in the face. But what drove me to that? What motivated that? I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed to admit that it was greed, pure and simple. The colour of money, the colour of Ted DiBiase's money. He had me take Braveheart out so he could grab control of the SWE for himself. 1 year later I walked into Hell for Lycra 8 as the SWE Heavyweight Champion, and I am not ashamed, and I am not embarrassed to admit that on that night I was beaten. I was beaten fair and square in the middle of the ring by Braveheart. And that was 2 years ago. 2 years. People say you're only as good as your last result as your last win. Well, for the last 2 years I've come off the rails. I've been on a downward spiral and I haven't had a lot of wins. Ted DiBiase got what he needed from me. He used me up and he cast me aside. He doesn't need me and he doesn't want me anymore. Those of us who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. That's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way. And I'm realising now if I want to get things done, if I want to make strides, if I want to achieve anything, I can only rely on myself. I've got to go out there for myself and I've got to do it by myself. That's exactly why I've entered myself in the 8-man ladder match this Saturday at Hell for Lycra. The winner becomes the #1 contender to the SWE Future Division Championship. I will face 7 extremely talented opponents, all with the same goal in mind. Each man going out there for themselves. It will be dog eat dog, every man for himself. Each man trying to become #1 contender for the Future Division Championship. Future. History. On that night, history will not matter one bit. All that will matter is the here and now. Each man aiming to make strides for the future. But I can promise you all this right now. This Saturday at Hell for Lycra 10, Claymore makes history again.